Hi guys, Kino Corner here. I'm not talking about a movie today, but instead I'm venting about something that has caused me quite a bit of stress in the last month or so. Since I make videos about films, I'm always at risk of my videos getting claimed by the copyright holders. That's a given. With each video, I have to take great pains to make sure that I can easily argue that the usages of the films fall under fair use. That means that I have to severely limit the lengths of each clip, and I have to make sure that my commentary is transformative. I think that all of you guys know that I'm not just making videos that can serve as substitutes for the movies. It actually makes me kind of sad when people tell me that they just listen to plot recaps on YouTube instead of watching the full films. Like, why even bother at that point? Movies are more than just the plots. Oh well, I guess people are weird. But you guys aren't like that. I know that most of you are actually fans of film, and many of you are film collectors. If I make a video that's a deep dive into a movie, that's because I love that movie and I want you all to seek out that film and watch it. I know that many of my videos have inspired purchases from you guys, and honestly, I'd rather you all buy good films rather than spend money on a lot of the slop that gets pushed in the cinemas now. But some people don't see it that way. They see that I use movie clips in a video and they want to claim my video. I've dealt with this a couple times in the last few years. I usually get my monetization back on the first appeal, and once I got my monetization back on my video after the second appeal. It was a headache each time, but it all got sorted out without too much stress. For those of you who don't know, this is how dealing with a copyright claim works. A company claims your video, and they get to decide what to do with it. Sometimes they collect the monetization from the video, and sometimes they block the video. The former is way more common in my experience. Once you get the claim, you can let them have it or you can appeal. The first appeal is pretty simple. You just have to fill out a short form and argue why you believe that the video is fair use. That claim goes back to the company, and in the meantime, the monetization for the video is held in escrow until the dispute is resolved. Now, they might accept your appeal. If they do that, then you're back to normal. They also might not accept your appeal. In that case, you have to dive a bit deeper. You have to argue for how the video is fair use again, but you have to provide more information, such as the amount of their content you used in the video and what percentage of it is of the original work. You also have to give them your full name, address, email, and phone number in case they decide to sue you. With the second appeal, you open yourself up to a copyright strike and a possible lawsuit. I've noticed that some companies will automatically deny the first appeals to basically scare creators into letting them take the ad revenue from videos. You think, well, I'm just a lowly creator without a lawyer and I can't afford a lawsuit or a strike, so I'll just give in to them. These companies know that the videos are fair use, they're just bullying creators to make an extra buck. Now, recently, I had my second appeal rejected on my deep dive into Terry Gilliam's film Brazil. It was a video that I spent probably 100 or more hours making. A video that caused many sleepless nights. To get an email saying that I had 7 days to delete the video or take back my appeal or face a strike and a lawsuit, it was devastating. But this whole thing was fishy to me. For one, the company claimed almost the whole video. I'll show you here. The claimed part of the video was from 6 minutes and 26 seconds to 38 minutes and 42 seconds. YouTube gave me the option to cut out the offending segment, but considering the video is 43.5 minutes long, that would reduce the video all the way down to only about 11.5 minutes. At that point, I might as well just delete it. Also, much of what they claimed was footage that I shot of myself. I know for a fact that they don't own the copyright to whatever I filmed, and they can't ask me to trim out sections in which I'm just talking to the camera. I naively thought that this was just a messy job from some low-level employee. Some teenage kid whose job is to trawl YouTube and find his company's or his company's clients' copyrighted content and issue a claim. I've encountered some very sloppy content ID claims in the past, and I've met some people whose job it is to issue these claims. Let's just say, it doesn't surprise me that many of the claims are shoddily done. But this was ridiculous. Still, I acted in good faith and made my arguments for both appeals. Both appeals got rejected, and soon enough, I was faced with either deleting the video or facing a strike and a lawsuit. I'm not gonna lie, it took the wind out of my sails. It made me wonder if I ever wanted to even make YouTube videos again. I did everything I could to fall within fair use, and here I was facing a potential lawsuit. A suit that I probably would win, mind you, but one that would probably put me into a ton of debt. I thought, do I just give up? Do I just move on and stop doing YouTube? Well, I thought that for just a few minutes, but that depressive phase was quickly replaced by anger. No, I won't let them bully me off the platform. I'll take a stand and I won't move an inch because I know I'm in the right. That's when I noticed something weird. The company threatening to strike me was not Universal Pictures, as was stated in earlier emails from YouTube. No, the company that was putting my channel at risk was Kanhaiya Studios. I thought, who the hell are these guys? Are they some third-party company that Universal hired to make Content ID claims? I decided to look them up and find out just a bit more about them. Let's take a look at their website. They advertise their Content ID services at the top of the site, but let's just scroll down just a little bit and read. Who we are. Kanhaiya Studios Private Limited India is the largest company of CMS, MCN, and music distribution in ISA continent. Our service, fastest joining of YouTube channel within 12 hours and maximize your earning up to 50% and best values rights of your creation. I think their website seriously needs a proofreader. They spelled Asia wrong, their capitalization is all over the place, the grammar is strange, and what's the deal with the colon and hyphen next to each other? Scrolling down a little further, we can read about their metrics. 220 channels, $67,000 paid, 8 million subscribers, I guess across all 220 channels, and 24-hour support. You know, I would think that the biggest MCN in Asia would have a higher payout than just $67,000. That seems a little low to me. But maybe ISA is different than Asia. If that's the case, then I guess maybe they're right. Going down a bit, we see another header. What's we do? Holy shit, this is bad. You would think that a company as big as this, as big as it supposedly is, would have a better website. This website feels like it was thrown together in a day. Their services range from acting as content claimants to managing channels and boosting YouTube views to data and social media management. It seems like they do just about everything. Their address is also incorrect here. I copy and pasted their address into Google Maps and found nothing. I then just searched for the company and I ended up finding it, but their storefront doesn't appear in the street view. That's weird. So in my search to find out more about the company, I ended up finding their YouTube channel, and it seems active, but I was shocked to see that it had 591,000 subscribers, despite the whole channel having less than 5.5 million views. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible, but that is implausible. Looking at their new videos from this year, they seem to have a hard time cracking 1,000 views per video. That should be easy to do with nearly 600,000 subscribers. I'm not saying anything. But I think you can all come to your own conclusions. Oh, and on their website, if you click the button to join their MCN, you get a 404 error. Actually, all their buttons lead to 404 errors. So it had me thinking, either Universal outsourced their content claiming to a really incompetent company in India, or this was some kind of scam and this company pretended to be Universal Pictures to get my video claimed. I do want to give Universal the benefit of the doubt here because I think that based on the abysmal quality of the website, their lack of reviews or professional social media presence, I don't think Universal would employ them. I know that there are plenty of these companies in Austin and LA, and I think that these studios would rather these companies be close by in case they'd have to deal with any legal issues. That's what threw me for a loop. I thought I was dealing with Universal this whole time, up until the second appeal was rejected, and I came to find out that it was some shady company in New Delhi. How did YouTube allow this to happen? It's utterly confusing to me. So there I was. Some company in India was threatening to strike my video and possibly sue me, though I don't know how that would have worked out. And so I had to take a stand. One of the dumbest things about YouTube is that to get issues like this resolved, you have to go to Twitter. Thus, I went to Twitter and no, I'm not going to say X, and I made a big stink. I laid out what was happening to me, and YouTube Help responded in the most unhelpful way. It depends whether it's a copyright strike or a content ID claim. If you see copyright claim takedown in YouTube Studio, that means it's a removal/strike. Let us know what you see and we'll share next steps. Note that we take misuse of our copyright tools very seriously and take strong action when we find abuse, including terminating channels and kicking companies out of Content ID. Please continue to dispute claims if you think they were made in error. I then continued the conversation with them, but it was to no avail. They just gave me stock responses, and it was like they weren't even reading when I was writing. One person in the reply said, "I think you're talking to Gemini." They might have been right. Thankfully, some of my other YouTuber friends have connections in YouTube, so I sent everything over to them to have it bumped up to an insider so that they could take a look. I know that YouTube doesn't often interfere in copyright issues because of legal problems that might incur, but I did think that this was being done maliciously by someone who did not hold the rights to the film. After I publicly complained, I got another email from the company. It was yet another copyright takedown notice on the video. I haven't gotten this far in a dispute before, so I don't know if that was just standard, but it felt to me like all of a sudden I was playing a game of chicken with them. There was nothing else I could do. I had hoped that maybe the insider was taking a look and could help me out, but that wasn't a guarantee. So it's just like, you know what? Screw it. Sue me. Strike me. See if I care. A few days later, the claim was released and my channel was in the clear. I asked some of my other YouTuber buddies if they had gone through something similar, and many of them hadn't. We talked about copyright trolls and the like, and all the cases that I've known have been individuals who are trying to screw over particular people. It did happen to my roommate Solar Sands once, though. Some company like this one, I guess, tried to claim a music track on one of his videos, a track that had a Creative Commons license. Solar Sands actually talked to the musician, and it wasn't him who made the claim. What's unsettling about my case is that it didn't seem to be some sort of targeted attack. It's some small business in India that claims to be an MCN and claims to perform these services, acting in bad faith to claim and potentially strike my videos. If they had won and gotten the ad revenue from the video, I'm not even sure that money would go to Universal Pictures. Is this going to be a problem for YouTubers going forward? Will we be targeted by copyright troll companies looking to make money off our hard work? Maybe, just maybe, Universal did hire them, and if that's the case, then they need to fire them because these guys are so bad at their jobs. But I don't think that's the case. Whatever the case is, I think that YouTube and Google definitely need to do more vetting on these companies that use their Content ID system. How could YouTube allow a company like this to pose as Universal Pictures and claim my video? I'm no lawyer, but this seems highly illegal to me. I get that YouTube doesn't want to get too involved in copyright disputes, but I think that a simple process in which they just verify that corporations are who they say they are would go a long way in decreasing Content ID fraud. Oh, and maybe actually help us out a little bit when we ask for help, rather than just linking us to an FAQ page and telling us to talk to our counsel because, every YouTuber has a copyright lawyer on retainer. It's enough to get bullied by the big studios, but now we've got to get bullied by these guys? Sheesh. I mean, I know that this all has a happy ending since I got my channel back, but it's not all roses. Now this company has my full docs, and I don't know what they'll do with it. I also don't know the extent of their bullying of other creators, and if YouTube is still letting them use the Content ID system. The least I could do is to make this video to shine a bit of light on this whole weird situation. I don't like not fighting back when people are trying to screw me over. If you want to hear me explain a little bit more about the situation, I've got the link to a more casual video on the Fudo channel in the description below. If Kanhaiya Studios tries to take this video down here on YouTube, well, just know that I'm also putting it up on Odyssey, Rumble, Twitter, Patreon, and anywhere else I can. If you're using GrayJ, it'll always be in your feed, no matter what they do. I just wanted to vent to you guys a bit. As I said, dealing with copyright disputes is part of the job. A shitty part of the job, but an inevitability nonetheless. It always sucks, but it sucks more when the other party is obviously acting in bad faith and trying to make a sucker out of me. I'm glad that it's over, and I can only pray that it won't happen again, but my hopes aren't too high. I'm coming out with some new videos in the next few weeks, so watch out for those, and if you haven't seen it, go check out my documentary on Uwe Boll. As always, I've been the Kino Corner, and I will see you all in the next video.